Spirituality is not a certain perspective. Because once you call it a perspective, every individual has a right to have his own perspective. That's going to be one big mess. Truth is not something that you can interpret the way you want and somebody else can interpret the way he wants. Truth cannot be interpreted, it can only be misinterpreted. You can become it or you don't become it. So, the question arises only when somebody is seeking. How do I maintain the strength of my seeking when I engage myself in the world and not get lost in the worldly process, whatever that's happening, because that's reality too and that's demanding too and that has the capability to absorb you completely. So how do I do that? One thing is, if individual human beings, as they have dedicated a certain amount of time every day for their toiletries, for their, to make money, for their family, for their relationships, they have allotted certain amount of time. So similarly, every human being has to allot a certain amount of essential time for his spiritual well-being also. If he does this, the chances of him getting lost are very remote. Every year, in a day there is a certain allotment, in a month there is a certain allotment, in a year there is a certain allotment, there is a vacation, there is this, there is that. Every human being in his own way, he is allotting consciously or unconsciously, he is allotting time for rest, for work, for relationships, for his body maintenance and so many things. Similarly, he has to allot time for his inner well-being also. If he does that, if we bring this as a culture in our lives, in our countries, in our societies, in the world, if we bring this as a culture, as everybody dedicates a certain amount of time for his education, for his monetary benefits, relationships and other things, he also allots certain time for his spiritual well-being. When I say spiritual well-being, I would like to exclude that from religious practices, because all religions somewhere started as a spiritual process.